Welcome to this week's vlog. I'm sorry that it's a bit dark and grainy, but I wanted to come up onto the roof of one of the office blocks at Parliament so that the cenotaph would be in the background so I could talk this week about Remembrance Sunday and the Poppy Appeal. It's been an amazing weekend in Wales on Saturday, on Armistice Day itself, and then in Burnham-on-Sea on Remembrance Sunday morning, and yesterday afternoon in Street. I was struck by how many people turned out. Some had served, some who hadn't, but just wanted to show their support for those who had served, and particularly those who had made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of our country. We live in a part of the world where military service is really appreciated, and where many in our community have served, and it was great to see so many people out marking their sacrifice and their service. Last week, Parliament was on a bit of a go-slow for the sort of November recess, which we will make up for this week with the return of the EU withdrawal bill. But that meant that last week I had an opportunity to go up to Birmingham and visit the Energy Systems Catapult, which was an amazing thing, funded initially by the government but also through various other private sector contributors, where they're looking at all sorts of things that the UK could and should be doing to lead the world in clean technology and a digitised energy system. So that was a hugely exciting thing to do, and it was great to go up to Birmingham and hear about their work. And then back down in Somerset at the end of last week, ever since those horrendous floods in the early part of 2014, it's been very clear to me that we live constantly in Somerset with the threat of flooding if the wrong weather comes in. And so I sort of set myself to, obviously all year round, keep an eye on what was happening with our flood protection and dredging and our pumping systems. But every year in the autumn, I asked the Environment Agency to take me out and show me a part of the flood protection system that's in place in the Wales constituency, and then just to sort of update me on what's been happening that year to make sure that we're as well prepared as possible for the winter. Now this year they took me to a pumping station just outside Mark, and it was good to see that that is in good working order, and there's been improvements to other bits of pumping infrastructure elsewhere on the Axe and on the Brew. There are some concerns about some of the things, the riverbanks, which I will take up with the Somerset Rivers Authority. But what was encouraging is that given all the dredging that has happened, given all the work by the internal drainage boards on the Reen network, they were confident that if the same weather came as we had 3 years ago, if it were to come this winter, that they would be able to get the water off the land much, much more quickly, down to a matter of days in fact. And I thought that was very heartening. Clearly there's no room for complacency, and when the bad weather comes, the reality is that our county does flood. But what matters is that homes, property, people are protected, and that we can get the water off the land and away out to sea as quickly as possible. And it's great to see that such good progress has been made, and that more progress is intended over the years to come, so that Somerset's flood protection system is as good as the people of Somerset deserve. That's enough from me this week. It's the EU withdrawal bill, as I said at the start of my vlog. That is going to make the news, not just this week, but over the remaining weeks that Parliament sits until Christmas. There's a lot of work to be done there, but I'm confident that the government will get the right bill through with the necessary compromises to please the House of Commons, and that will all contribute to getting us the deal for Brexit that we need. Thank you.